Hi everyone, Sajid Amit here, and welcome to my review of this rather cheap ass IM, the NF Acoustics NA20. And I don't call it cheap ass to be disrespectful. It's just very cheap. It's $118, and of course, if you think it's not cheap, then I mean, anything and everything is subjective, and that's all I'll say. But it is affordable, guys, and because it is. It's not one of those things that I tend to review, but I did review this because Eileen, who's I think she's some kind of an ambassador for NF Acoustics, and she keeps in touch with me, and she's lovely to speak to. And I couldn't say no also because they look so beautiful. I mean, for $120, I mean, I wasn't expecting this kind of look. So I got this box with it that is in Chinese, which I appreciate because the box in English doesn't make a lot of sense. So it says dynamic driver in-ear monitor because it is a single dynamic driver. I think the English box says something like, or the box that has English writing on it says something like, immersed in silky sounds, desire to endless tracks, which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but it is what it is, guys. It is ultimately a pretty good IM, and that's basically what I'll say. Well, this is just another IM that I have here that I'm going to review soon. So, I mean, in terms of its positives, these shells are obviously very beautiful, made of resin. The faceplate and the logo is very professionally done. It looks very professional, very high-end, as a matter of fact. And it looks way more high-end than the price suggests. They say it's durable to scratches and fingerprints, and it does look durable. The brass nozzle, I think, is pretty comfortable, so that's also worth mentioning. I'm using an M-size ear tip, which is what I've been using nowadays. QDC connectors, so they fit well. 2.78 mm cables, easy to swap cables. QDC connectors, as evident. The box has a storage box. This outer box has a storage box inside. Multiple ear tips. Pretty decent accessory set is for the price. Yeah, I don't really like opening boxes, but maybe I will try to open this because I usually fumble and I move things, and it will make my camera jar at the very least. So I'm going to try and open this box because I've seen that people who are buying at this price point can often be sensitive to the accessorization that it comes with, and that is something I appreciate. So this is what the innards of the box looks like, right? It looks pretty professional. It looks sophisticated. So these guys are stepping up their game, NF Acoustics, and kudos for that. This is the carrying case that it comes with. So as you can see, it's pretty well engineered. The design of the innards. And so in terms of its cons, right, the cable does feel a bit thin. It looks nice. It looks fairly well built and sturdy, I dare say. But it does feel a bit thin. And in terms of sound, which is essentially what you would buy this for, of course, and looks and accessorization are all a huge plus. In terms of sound, there is a bit of a mid-bass bleed into the lower mids, which is still well controlled. And there's a slight dip in the mids before the pinna gain. And I like the mids because it is good, because there's a bit of gratiness to the female vocals and a slight sharpness you feel on certain tracks. It's not a bright IM, but it does have a little bit of energy here and there in the treble, lower treble. But it's not bad, right? I think some people are calling it a neutral bright tuning. I would still say it's a pretty neutral tuning with decent bass presence. The bass is organic and somewhat natural. It is quite resolving for the price, I think, for $120. It's not sibilant. It's got those little peaks in around lower treble. It's not super airy, but it does have decently wide sound stage. Quite easy to drive. I think it's 32 ohms and 109 decibels. It's quite easy to drive. Overall, guys, I mean, this is something I would recommend. Like, I wouldn't pair it with the Fio anything Fio, because Fio does tend to accelerate the treble. But I love this though, BTR 17. I think it's one of the best things you can buy for the price. Not just in audio, I think it's one of the best things you can buy, period, for in any category of things you can buy from. But yes, it's a good IM. So kudos to NF Acoustics. I think they're getting better and better and better with their tuning. $120, very strong contender. Strong recommendation. Just keep in mind that there is a bit of spiciness in the lower treble, but very impressive technically for the price. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next one. Bye bye.